welcome back to the second part of our taking an infant to Disney. So today we're going to be talking about taking a 6-month-old. So our trip in April, Aiden had just turned 6 months old, somewhere around there.
And I think he turned 6 months old while we were on the trip.
I believe it was pretty close. I think he turned 6 months right after we got back. So we have another list of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This time we have 6 things. Intentionally have 6 things. I'm not adding anything to this, as far as I know. So we're going to start with number 1 is pack extra clothes, extra baby clothes specifically. Because why?
Because babies poop a lot.
A lot. This is, at least as far as we were able to tell with Aiden, this was the age of blowouts. Quite a few blowouts. He didn't have any major ones while we were at Disney, but it was good to have that security, knowing that we had an extra outfit or two in the diaper bag.
He had a lot of leg leakage at this age.
Yeah.
It would leak out of the leg holes of his diaper.
Because their legs are starting to move more, and so the diapers kind of open up sometimes, depending on if you have them in the right size or not, if they need to go up or down. There's a whole bunch of different things that can go into it. But regardless, this is the age of blowouts. And it can be not so much fun. So,
No.
Yeah. The thing, I think maybe only 1 or 2 times that happened while we were there.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as much as it happened to us at home, but
we also were only there for about 5 days.
Yeah.
So that was also part of it. But just be prepared to change your child's clothes a lot.
Yep, just pack extra clothes. Because even if they don't have blowouts, depending on the time of year that you go, it is so hot and gets so sticky and sweaty, that having those dry extra clothes sometimes helps out. Just getting them changed into something cool and dry.
Yeah. So number 2 is bring a supportive carrier if you're going to baby carry. So
baby wear.
Whichever. Baby carry, baby wear.
But nobody's baby wear.
Okay. Bring a supportive carrier if you're going to baby wear. So we, like we said in the last video, we were baby wearing on all 3 trips. And on the second trip, we took the Ergo. Was that what it was?
We took the Ergo, and you had the blue.
I also had the blue
Catan.
Yeah. We both used the Ergo more. I did like the Catan a little bit, but the Ergo was a little better because it's more supportive, and the soft carriers can hurt after a while.
Yeah, because they start to dig in and sit weird, whereas the Ergo has the lumbar support.
It has padded straps rather than it just being cloth that's pulling on you. So, if you're going to baby wear, bring a more supportive carrier. You're going to thank yourself for it. Yeah, bring
an Ergo or a Tula, something like that, because it's really not worth it to try and use one of those soft carriers. It wears on you really quick.
Yes, very quickly. So, number 3 is use the baby care centers to give your kids a break. So, like we said in the last one, the baby care centers are not just for feeding your children.
No.
They are air conditioned. And there's generally other kids in there. Take your kids in there to give them a break from the heat. Just kind of let them sit down for a while and maybe give them a nap. There's a couple of the Magic Kingdom one doesn't work as well for naps unless you're going into the nursing room, because it's really small.
It is really small.
And there's not a whole lot of kind of space to sit down and kind of get your kid to sleep.
But if you are nursing, the nursing room is really awesome because they have big comfy recliners.
Yes.
And it's a great place to rock the baby to sleep after you're done nursing.
Right. Kind of like this. I don't think she is either. No, she's got her eyes open. She's not asleep, but pretty close. So, but just use it to give your kid a break, especially in the Florida heat.
Okay.
They're going to need breaks like that. So if you want to give them a break, not even just from the heat, but also just from walking around. If your kids have been walking around at 6 months, they may not be walking, or they won't be walking. But if you have other kids as well, it's just a good way to kind of give them a break.
Sit down, decompress a little bit.
Yeah, and kind of get them again out of the heat. So number 4 is to do air conditioned shows. Bless you. So doing air conditioned shows is just another way to give not only the kid a break, but to give everyone a break. Air conditioned shows are a really good way to get everyone in out of the heat, and they're generally for the most part like fairly quiet compared to a lot of other things you could be doing. When we were at on our last trip, when we were at the Halloween party, we were walking in one of the trick or treat lines, and we walked through the PhilharMagic. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
PhilharMagic, and it was playing like Ichabod and Mr. Toad or something like that. It's usually playing some movie or something like that, and the movie wasn't playing very loud or anything like that. Like it, just as we were walking through there, both Anna and I looked at each other, and it was like this would be a good place to bring Aiden, to get him out of the heat and to nurse him if he needed to be nursed or anything like that, just to give himself and us a break.
Yeah.
So keep your eye out for those for the air conditioned shows. So,
yeah, and they're also just good at the 6 month spot, because that's when they're really starting to look around and get stimulated by the lights and the colors and the sounds.
Yeah.
And so things like the Enchanted Tiki Room are really good, because there's a lot going on. But there's music.
Also the clickety clackety of the old animatronics in the Tiki Room kind of gets their attention. They're just like, what's going on here?
Yeah. So Tiki Room is good. The Country Bear Jamboree is another good one. It's a nice cooled off area. There's singing, so the music's great.
Yeah.
You know, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
PhilharMagic would be really good too.
Yeah. And then in Hollywood Studios they have the Frozen sing-along.
Frozen Ever After single.
Is it called Frozen Ever After? Oh, okay. So we found it. For the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration. That's what the one in Hollywood Studios is called. They have some other shows in Hollywood Studios that are outside. So keep around the Indiana Jones stunt spectacular, I think is what it's called.
Yes.
Is an outdoor one. So you gotta make sure that you know which ones are indoor and which ones are outdoor. Fantasmic outdoor.
Yeah.
Because it's a fireworks show, so I hope they wouldn't be doing that indoors.
Fireworks. Fantasmic is also kind of loud. That's not one I would suggest.
Yeah. It was fine for Aiden because the only time that we've seen. Oh no, we saw it both on our first trip and second trip.
Yeah, we didn't see.
But he was asleep through pretty much both of those.
Yeah.
I think he woke up at one point when he was 6 months old. He woke up at one point, but for the most part, he just slept.
In Epcot, Turtle Talk with Crush is a good little show. Yeah.
And it also you're inside the aquarium, so to go do the Seas with Nemo and Friends. It's just a little kind of dark ride.
It's a little people mover.
People mover ride. It's a little simple little thing. That's actually kind of nice, and then it lets you off into the aquarium that's there.
Into the seas, yeah.
And so it's entirely indoors. It's nice and quiet. So just go wander around, look at the fish. The kids will generally, especially at that age, they like looking at the fish. They like seeing them move around and stuff like that.
And there's a little play area there too. Yep. That's shark themed.
Yeah, it was pretty cute. So, but there's generally, I think, indoor shows in every part. I don't know if there was one in Animal Kingdom. I don't know if the bugs.
It's indoor. I don't know what it's called.
I know, that's what I'm trying to think of. It's not. I wanted to say A Bug's Life, but it's not called A Bug's Life.
No, but
it's tough to be a bug.
It's tough to be a bug. It is indoors, but there is a point where the seats kind of move in the show.
Yeah, it's like a 4D type thing.
Which might be okay if you're holding your child.
Yeah.
But if they're sitting in their own seat, that might be a little much for them.
They might be get a bit scared of it. So there's also apparently some with the spiders that happens in that one that generally scares the kids.
I feel like there is the Lion King show.
The Festival of the Lion King.
At
Animal Kingdom,
yes. But I don't know if it's indoor or if it's outdoor.
If I remember correctly, because when I went 17 years ago now, that was where we met for the cruise, or that we had to go into the Festival of Lion King in a specific area, and then the people for the cruise came and got us regular admission. And if I remember correctly, it is mostly indoors. There is an outdoor it's kind of open at the back, unless they've changed it, because that was 17 years ago, almost 20 years now, and there was kind of an opening at the back, but for the most part it was inside. I don't know, so that might be one that you would have to check into before you use that as a way to get out of the heat. But I'm not saying it's going to look it up right now. So yeah, it looks like, from what Anna has looked up, Festival of Lion is indoors, at least mostly indoors, but it looks like it is indoors. You can check it yourself when you go there. You can just walk up and you should be able to see kind of the building and everything. But that's another one there. But
in Epcot, there's all the Circle Visions. So there's China, the Circle Vision.
Canada.
Canada has the Circle
Once they
Vision.
finish, I don't know if they're finished with that yet, but
I think it reopened at this point.
I think it has. And then the America Pavilion has a video thing that goes along with it as well. So I think, or not as a video. There's like a kind of a show thing. They have quite a few areas. I think because they know how open Epcot is, there's quite a few areas that you can go into and get out of the sun for a while. So, what number are we on? Number 5 is plan extra time for the characters. This can go for all of the ages that we're doing, so 3 weeks, 6 months, and a year. This can pertain to all of them.
But I think for us, we really noticed the difference at 6 months.
Yeah. Because at 3 weeks, they're not interacting with it. They're sleeping for the most part. Yeah. They're not interacting with it. They don't even really see far enough away to see that there's a character there. They might see you because you're right in their face.
But they don't.
But they don't really see the characters. Once they're 6 months, they do. And that can go one of two ways. Your child will either be terrified and screaming, or they'll be like Aiden, and it's his favorite thing in the world.
But because of the age where they start interacting and recognizing and stuff like that,
and they'll reach for things. So
the characters absolutely adore it, and they will just naturally spend a lot more time with you.
Yes.
And so, for those character meet and greets, you're gonna want to plan extra time. Like I would say, like when he was 3 weeks old, we maybe spent a couple of minutes with a character.
Yeah, there was a couple that were longer because they really seemed to like the little baby. But for the most part, it was more noticeable at 6 months. And
then at a year for Aiden, because Aiden just wanted to keep going and he wasn't necessarily as targeted in on all of the characters. Some of them he really did just zone in and want to spend forever with.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he was like, okay, I met you. I want to leave now.
Yeah.
But at 6 months, they're just so in awe of it, and the characters just love it.
They love it. Yeah.
So just plan that extra time, because I was gonna say like there's some of those characters we easily spent almost 10 minutes with. So be sure to budget that extra time.
Yeah.
For those characters.
It will be worth it because it is a lot of fun to see.
And we got some really cute pictures.
Some really good pictures. So, our last one is number 6, pack all of the snacks.
Yes.
This is the age when the kids are starting to eat some solid foods. More solid foods. And I don't even know how many snacks we went through.
We did a lot of puffs.
There was a lot of puffs, a lot of the little yogurt bites, and it was. We went through a lot.
And that's, and the other thing is that not everything that you can get in as far as dining goes is going to be baby friendly for that age group.
Yeah.
There were some things like he gnawed on French fries and things like that. He had some of the softer stuff like avocados and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, he loved the avocados.
Which is funny because he hates avocados at home. So.
Yeah, these were grilled avocados though.
But so there's not like a huge variety of early baby foods there. So make sure you pack a lot of stuff for them, and of course like they're not reliant on this food, but like Aiden in particular, he loved to eat like actual food, so we went through a lot of snacks because of it. He loves to eat that kind of stuff, and so make sure to pack that kind of
extra
stuff.
ones because you are going to need extras of that.
Yeah, you're gonna need more than you think you will, and it's great for the airplane to distract them. Snacking, we did okay because Aiden sleeps on the airplane, but I don't think that we're gonna get that lucky this next trip.
I don't think so. He's gonna be too old for that.
But snacks are a great way to distract them and keep them busy during the flight. You can set them in your lap and put snacks on the tray in front of them and keep them entertained for at least a little while.
Exactly.
So snacks are great. Pack all of them.
Exactly. So yes, that's our list of kind of list of tips of how to take a 6-month-old to Disney. So hopefully that was helpful, and we will see you in the next video.